Alright, this is probably the most exciting opening of, at least one of the most exciting openings of this whole series, the Unorthodox. Wow, I honestly don't really like this Joseki because black gets a lot of territory and this shape is not very comfortable. Well, I guess that's what we get for playing the Tengen there, but we had to do that. Okay, so what do we do after? Let's do some approach moves. Oh, wow. Time to go for the super complicated variation. Now, this is a variation that I sort of avoid a little bit when I play against other pros, because I know that they will know more about this than I do. Um, yeah. Okay, so that's definitely not the best move here. Wait, actually, oh no, I can't net because black can still escape. Uh, but I guess there's a lot of other things I could do. Um, Even if I block, I think it's not a really good exchange for black. Yeah, this is not very good for black. Should attach under. Let's go with the attach under. We do have to be careful a little bit because when black escapes, it's going to be sente on the lower group. So if you're playing this local Joseki, you have to make sure that that you are ready to respond when, let's say, when black turns, because the push and cut is obviously very, very severe. I actually want a cross cut. I don't know how viable that is, but uh, it's tempting. Let's do it. It's unorthodox. We got to play unorthodox moves. So let's try it. Okay. What do we do now? Okay, so let's Atari and pull back. And then that will make it so that black either has to crawl in the second line, or if they capture, then we can capture the center two stones. It also leaves it so that we can just diagonal and escape. That's also a good option. So the annoying part right now for black is they have to crawl in the second line. But I'm not sure if I should extend, because if I go too many times, black's gonna capture my group, so I think I need to escape first. And I'm playing the diagonal right now because I don't want to just push. Black is going to play here anyway, so I don't need to make the push and force black to do that. It's actually a very important shape move here, so that when I play the diagonal, my escape route is very clear. Oh wow, really? Black is just going to let me take over the fight, pretty much. Okay. So first of all, the escape route is very clear now for white. But now, look at the shiny Tianyuan stone. This is awesome. Okay, so I don't think I can Hane though, because when black Hane's back, I can't really cut. There's a weakness with the push, and I won't have enough liberties. So I kind of have to decide. Okay, maybe I'll just Knight's move. Because first it actually threatens the cut, and also it defends the territory quite well. Wait, I can cut this. Cut is actually relatively complicated because maybe black will try to do a trade. I wonder if that's viable for black. Just Atari and Tiger's Mouth, and then Atari down. Maybe I'm thinking too much, because then black would sacrifice the corner 3 stones. I hope that makes some sense. The other thing I could do is just diagonal. That's a very vulgar move. It's like very direct. Doesn't feel like a good move. Okay, so this is a bit difficult. Maybe I'll just jump in the middle and just not decide. When it's uncomfortable to make a decision, um, you can just kind of help force your opponent to decide. So at the moment, black doesn't really have a local good move either. The connection is not possible in one move. Unless black plays like the extension or something. I'm definitely okay with that though. Oh wait, I have a cut, but unfortunately it's not working now. That's a bit unfortunate. Okay, so I need to protect now because I'm in a surrounded situation. If black clamps, um, that's a very bad situation for me. All right, so black descended. Now, this move is actually not really all that scary. For one, I can just like Hane and Tiger's Mouth because that threatens to just cut the stone. So it's really not that scary. Um, oh, it is very important for me to play locally though, because black can actually play where my mouse is and just connect. So it is very important for me to play that. And then I jump out. But I don't think black realizes that they have a very important cut right here. Oh, they do. Okay, so they're fixing it. Oh man, I wanted to catch them, but well, at least we get something. Now we can just capture these pretty much. Okay, it's non-trivial to how to capture them. So I can go with a very safe capture. Um, it's kind of small, but it's something that I probably should be happy with because um, I think white is relatively efficient. Keep in mind that black pretty much has 0 points in the lower right because when white invades at the 2-2 point, black doesn't really have a good answer to that. Kind of want to counter this. My first intuition is like connecting is probably a bad move. Black is like all iron here, all connected, so there's no reason for me to worry about blacks cutting through. But by playing the knight's move here, I'm also threatening to connect this out. It's not that big territory-wise, but it does guarantee that safety for my group. So that in itself has quite a lot of value. And having solid groups is very important in a situation like this. Black is pretty strong here. Yeah. It doesn't look really obvious right now, but white has much more territory than black. Like all black has is the like just like 11 points here, and then like pretty much 0 in the corner. Which means black just has that and then a little bit in the corner. Really? Black is just sacrificing the right side. How is that even possible? Okay, I have to be a little bit cautious capturing this group, but this is just a very bad strategy by black. I'm positive. Maybe I should have Tiger's Mouth to prevent the extension, though. I think if black extends, I'm a little bit oh, dang. I'm a little bit annoyed by this. But either way, this is just going to be terrible for black. Because, first of all, white's escaped. Maybe I'll just play this now, just to simplify it. Yeah, let's just play this now. White is all connected and escaped. But black is all on the second line already. I guess the safe option, yeah. Not really the safe option. I pretty much have to jump here anyway. I can't really get cut now because black has more liberties, but I just extend, and what is black gonna do about the corner? There's only 6 now in a row, which means black can't just block. This is locally a dead shape. So black is in a very bad situation right now. Oh, this turn is gonna be so comfortable. Wait, that's also Gote. Okay, it's kind of like a reverse Sente though, because this is a little bit difficult to decide. Okay, I think my best bet is still not to answer. I kind of am tempted in answering because it does guarantee my endgame move in the corner, but it's probably just my greediness speaking. So we'll just make short work of the corner there, and just make sure my groups are okay. There's so much profit here for white. It's just unbelievable. It's just such good result for white. Really happy about that. And black has a weak group in the middle, and black has like 6 points on the right. So territory is just not even, it's just not even close anymore. And as long as my group here in the middle doesn't die, which I've actually very conveniently connected to my Tengen Stone. By the way, I talked about this a lot in the Unorthodox openings because the stone in the center is actually the most difficult to use in the beginning. That's the reason why you don't really see pros start with the center stone. It's just generally not very efficient. Yeah, so, oh wow, black is disconnecting. So black's not really worried about extending out just yet, but it seems like black is just not really caring about any of the groups and just trying to be like this Honey and Connect just makes no sense because okay, it's an end game move. Like you should definitely extend out, right? The value of the extension is worth way more than that. Um, yep. So what I'm doing is just I'm playing very solid now. I don't need to really try anything. I just play in a row, play 5 in a row. Just make sure all my connections are solid, and so that they can't just try stuff. All of a sudden, black is all on the second line again. I'm pretty sure I don't really need to respond to this. Okay. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but I can deal with it. So black is doing whatever they can to make sure my shapes are uncomfortable. But unfortunately for them, they are just not caring about their own shapes at all. Which is making it very easy for me, because their shapes are just really bad. I just have to make sure my shapes are just relatively better. And I think black just died here, if I'm not mistaken. Now black will not be able to get the exchange. Actually, the exchange doesn't matter because white can get an extra Atari. So either way, this group is cut off now. Um, so it looks like this will be the ending of this game. Oh, what am I even thinking? Black can just cut here. Duh. Um, okay, a little bit of a turn. Yeah, so I thought that my Atari would prevent the connection in Sente, but no, I definitely have to spend an extra move to finish cutting off black. Oh man, that's a very bad exchange for me then. But it's okay. I'll just escape the other group now. If Black will definitely try the capturing race now. But I think the outside is in danger. I'm gonna do a little bit of a trick to see if my opponent falls for it. So what I'm gonna do is that when I connect here, it's actually a Sente on the outside group. But it's also a liberty reduction. So we'll see if they fall for it. So this I definitely have to connect. Okay. Now I've sneakily captured one of my opponent's outside groups, but even if they respond, I would win by one liberty with capturing moves because I could connect here. So I did look at it, not just playing this. Um, but yeah, so the reason why the connecting is Sente is because now if Black Atari, White can Atari from behind, and that's not possible if the capture is Sente. I hope that makes sense. So I'm not sure if I explained that well actually. So in this case, if Black Atari is at right here, White can Atari and ladder the other way. So this is a very common squeeze technique here. And we did it. So that squeeze will not work if Black capture was Sente, which is why White connected here first. So I think I just like to quickly talk about the fight here, which seemed very hard. But I guess the main point about this game is that you always want to pay attention to the efficiency of your stones and not just try and make it as uncomfortable for your opponent as possible. I guess the point here is the relative importance of local shapes. So you could have bad shape, but if you can make your opponent into even worse shape, then it's still better for you. And I think that's pretty much what's happening here. So White has pretty uncomfortable shape, but overall Black shape is even more uncomfortable. So in the game here, Black is just not really caring too much about their own shapes and trying to make White into that shape. So in the end, Black keeps having to spend extra moves to protect these groups that are all very uncomfortable and on the second line, which allowed White to benefit points in many other places. All right, time to find out what our next opening. I didn't even set the numbers properly, but let's do this. Oh, I know exactly what that is. All right, first ever account to 5D. Let's see what we've got. All right, so we're going to approach and extend back to fully comply with the Kobayashi opening. Oh, and this is awesome because my opponent is very cooperative. And we get to do the high pins. Oh, nice, 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 nice. This is a very classic situation, actually. And it's very bad for Black to capture it because White is very efficient on the left side. But then this group in the middle is not. Oh, my opponent is blitzing again. Um, I didn't realize this while I played the last game, but the pace of that game was just phenomenal. I think that's like probably the most ideal pace for any ROCs that I've had. So that's awesome. But if you look at this one, this is totally blitzing. Oh man. Ooh, I think we can get a peep here. Annoy our opponent a little bit here. Okay. It's still Gote for black, so the push and diagonal will just help white get stronger. So that's probably not a good exchange for black. Um, shall we knight's move? What's the knight's move? Keep the attack, and this is a very good direction to be going. Let's finish what black started here. Let's go with the attachment because this will help us expand. Oh, okay. So black decided to get the better direction, but of course in this case we get the locally preferred result. Um, there's actually a lot of interesting perspectives on this, even between pros. Now, do you prefer the global better direction or the local better position? That's probably the most difficult philosophical question of all time in Go. It's also the most difficult to evaluate in terms of positional judgment because like just take this for example, right? Black obviously got the better direction because now white's influence here is hard to develop, but white faced an open direction and locally this result is better for white. So in the end, who is it better for? I can't answer that question. I guess we don't really know. It's very hard to tell. Okay, so after extending a lot of times, let's reduce the right side now. Actually playing a very smooth opening. Just, I think locally benefiting, getting extra points everywhere. So I'm actually pretty happy with the opening so far. This is interesting. I feel like I have a very potentially a powerful move right now. Should we go for it? Let's just pressure the black group on the left. I don't think it's really that important for black to capture the one stone. And if I leave it, I get to save, like, for example, if I connect, black can't really connect back very smoothly. So back to what I was saying about like the local versus global. Like there are some pros who are known for like preferring the global result in history. Like, a Ping example. Oh, actually, Takamiya is a good example for playing like very whole board, very global. For his cosmic style, is an example. And there are a few pros who are like local results a lot more. Like a lot of the top pros recently actually all do that. Like Miu Ting, for example. Who's another really good? Like Byung Sung Il, I think. He's a very like local player who doesn't really care too much about who cares a lot about shape, like local shape, local results. Of course, like that doesn't mean you're like 100% one way, but if there's like a roughly even sort of situation, then typically that player will choose the more um, that particular direction. Okay, so okay, now we're in a okay. Maybe we'll just extend out because I feel like it goes very nicely to limit the black wall. And in terms of endgame, I feel like white has a very definitive lead. The first thing is that the black group here is very inefficient. It's not making any territory at all. But white doesn't have a group like that. So all of white's groups are all making territory. So from that, we can already tell that. Let's extend. We can already tell that this is better for white. Should I descend and save that stone? I guess I don't really need to. If I hunt and descend on the outside, it's threatening to cut. And locally it's already alive, so I guess I can decide whether or not I want to connect. Oh, I didn't know that Mac had that feature. Like if you shape, wait, how did I get that? I'm completely distracted by a feature in. Oh wow, I'm completely distracted by this feature. You can make your mouse bigger. This is the first time I've been using a MacBook for a long time, and this is honestly the first time I've ever seen that. this is this is probably embarrassing. Okay, I should focus on the game. All right, so I decided to take Sente because I feel like there's a lot of very open end games, and this is just like 6 point reverse Sente. So it's big. It's not small, but all right. Let's attach and pull back. Yeah, wouldn't want black to get that, so let's attach and pull back. It's a very comfortable endgame because it also has some annoying follow-ups, I believe. Okay, let's play the 19. This is a very big move. If black jumps, it's pretty much Sente, and I get to connect back. I hope you believe me that white is ahead without us counting. And actually, this is, well, secretively, just between you and me. I use this a lot to make judgments on the board. Because a lot of time you just don't, well, maybe it's just because I'm lazy, but, okay, coming clean here. But most of the time you don't really have time or effort to fully judge the situation. And in those cases, the best thing to do is just, you can do, like the quickest way is just to see how relatively efficient your stones are. And yeah, a couple of things is like if you see a group like this, that's inefficient. Like that's just a group where black had to respond to a lot of white moves just to make sure this group can live. That's like a big red flag in that judgment exercise. I guess in this case you could even just look around to compare the territories. Yeah. So white's ahead by at least 10 points on the board. Is that too optimistic? I think it should be a reasonable assessment. We do have a lot of other things going on, actually. We have, like, there's an attach and cut, which would be interesting. Which will end up in a ko. Huh, that's interesting. Do I want to fight a ko? Oh, my opponent was on. Maybe they realize they won't be able to come back. For some reason, for these rooms, I'm not able to start reviews. All right, let me open this because I feel like this is quite an interesting shape. Get to see my current wins there. I have 10 wins right now. Let me just try to reposition the board at roughly the same. So in this case, let's say black responds. I was planning on playing the diagonal first and then the attach and cut. So the ko I was talking about is when black connects, black could cut an Atari, and then white would connect this back. So this is a relatively light code for white, and white can use the extension, for example, in the corner. Black is extremely, extremely heavy. So what black probably has to do is just capture, and then white would just Atari, and capture the cornerstone. That's a very nice endgame because it steals the corner. All right. I think I hope I got the time correct this time. Let's do another opening. Oh, another double 4-6. We're definitely going to have double 4-6-7 then first. Alrighty, this is the game on this double 4-6 account, and I'm gonna pull up my profile here. Wow, 13. Can't believe this. Well, it's the wait. What am I supposed to do here? Okay. I completely forgot about this Joseki. This one, right? God. Okay, anyway, gee. So on Fox, above a 5 dan, you have to win 20 games in a row in order to rank up twice. And within the 20 games, if you lose at least once, the maximum you can rank up is 1. So you can't lose any games on 5 dan if you want to skip to 7. And same goes from 7 to 9. Alright, so we have this strange, very fishy result here. And I don't know what to do now. It's a very strange result. I guess I could Hane and net. I'm just inventing moves at this point. Just no idea what's going on now. Yeah, so if black pushes twice, they have to connect back. So I can use that to seal. I'm pretty sure black should have pushed an extra time and then just connected. In that case, it's arguable whether or not it's good for white. I doubt it. So we got away with it a little bit here. I'm definitely more inclined to continue on the right side first because I want black to play on this side so I can be on the 4th line. The 4th line is very comfortable when you're jumping out like this because if you're actually higher, your opponent can invade much easier. But generally, my sense is that the 4th line is quite ideal for this type of situation. Okay, so I think I gotta cut. If I extend, I'm gonna be pushing from behind, even though if I'm on the 4th line. But look at that guy; he's over there, and I can't let him get too isolated. All right, so it looks like we're gonna have a pretty intense fight now because black is wanting to gain a lot on the left, but I can't let them do that. Oh, They're just sacrificing the middle. Okay, then in that case, um, I'm definitely okay with that. Really? Do they really think they will have a chance in the capture race? I think I could just squish, and I should be able to win comfortably. The question is, do I make the Atari? Yeah, I keep spending time on like the most pointless things. Just make the Atari. Come on. Yeah, so I was like, okay, is that worth it? Or should I let Black extend and I Hane? Okay, just it doesn't even matter. Yeah. The this is very bad time management for me. Oh, Black Hane. Oh no, I have to reduce the liberty. But all black. Just dropped my mic. But all black gains is just the connect under, which is honestly it shouldn't be acceptable for black. Oh, but this is annoying. Okay, I'll just ignore that, and I'm gonna expand from my influence here. Locally, the result is really good, but my stone, my choking on my choking because how bad the stone is. It's just not very good at taking the corner. Honestly, I feel like tanuking here, but okay, let's just respond. Kind of annoying here. Okay, I'll just respond. It is a legitimate forcing move, I guess. All right, yeah. So black just decided to do that. Let's just invade the corner. It's a nice, it's a nice, it's a nice thing to get. In this situation, this is a great counterexample. You should never block when your opponent has to jump, because the benefit of hunting and getting inside white's territory is very minimal compared to how much black loses on the right side. Yeah, so black is very local right now and just trying to get this territory reduction, but locally the knight's move outweighs that a lot. So if white pushes and cuts now, black pretty much loses the stone, and white completely takes over the right side. So definitely like here's like one very general tip, but very useful, is that you should always think flexible. Having fixed thinking is probably one of the biggest mistakes that you can have. Like, for example, as white, you might think, oh, I really want this territory because it looks really big. Um, that's generally a bad habit to have. Okay, so black is going to live very small here, and now white's going to continue to develop on the right side. If black doesn't exchange this, I'm going to Hane, and this is going to get rid of all of the eye space here. This is fine, it's barely any weakness. Actually, black is just helping white protect here, because later on there's now a wedge and connect, which could be a lot of trouble, actually. So I'm just going to capture the stone. Still, black is very tight on eye space. Black needs to make sure the group has enough eye space. So black is, I'm not sure why, like sometimes when well actually now it's not even sometimes. In most of these games, I run into some opponents that are just unusually aggressive in these situations. Like just black is not even alive here. If white makes the Atari, there's 0 eyes for this group. And look at how solid this group is. So black is just running a stone from the white wall, but just not caring about this huge group at all. I'm just very surprised generally by how reckless these strategies are sometimes that I see. So this group is just dead. There's just absolutely 0 doubt about this. It's dead. There's just no doubt about it. It's actually very important for white not to descend first because black can actually Atari in the middle. But this is just way too clear. It's just absolutely no way black could do anything. And when the attacker is preventing a light ko from a defending group, you know that group is going to die. Like in this case, I'm even connecting because I'm so sure that this group is going to die that I don't even want to fight a light ko. I can easily fight that ko because it's very light for white, and white could just extend. That would even be a good result for white. I guess I'll just connect and just pawn it. Yeah, so definitely, like, this move is absolutely ridiculous. It's just like, that stone doesn't even affect white that much. It's like running a stone out from a wall, but then leaving a group that's dying. Definitely the losing move, if any move in this game. I don't think black realizes that the 6 stones here are dead. So maybe they will realize soon. I talk about this shape with my students a lot. This is a very typical extended L shape with a turn. Make sure you do connect though when the 2 stones are short on liberties. Wait, do I just keep playing away? Okay, let me just make sure that they know about this. Okay, there we go. That was quite a surprise there. Yeah, so actually, I think a very important point I think about this game is you should always be flexible about trades. This is never set territory. If I can exchange this for something even bigger, threaten the whole group, and make it live, then it's totally worth it. So typically in this situation, it's not very good for black to honey down, unless black can extend afterwards. Or black has a nearby stone. So typically in this situation, when white gets the knight's move, it's really not worth it. If black turns here and white connects, it's not really actually beneficial because it's only like it's a 2-point benefit, but it actually makes white stronger. So, like for example, if black turns and white connects back, it's not necessarily good for black. All right, this is pretty typical double 4-6, just fighting whole game. All right, so I think that's going to be it for today's episode. I'm going to roll the next opening. Let's see what we get. Mini or micro Chinese happening. This is embarrassing because it's like season 2 and we're like 60 episodes in, and I still can't. Yeah, mini micro Chinese. Awesome. So that is what we're going to start with in the next video. Still hoping for the Magic Zero and finishing our redemption. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, do drop a like, a comment, it really helps out the channel. Also feel free to check out our membership videos as well as our Patreon and our website. Ryan here. See you in the next one.